Now that I got to marinate on that beautiful win, let's dive a little bit deeper into what Miami Dolphins did yesterday. What is up, Finn fans? Hope you guys are having a fantastic victory Monday. The Miami Dolphins pulled off a very tense, heart-pounding win, beating the Chargers 36-34. We're going to dive deeper into some stats, see where they're at statistically, some cool things, first time or kind of top 5 tier for our guys. Just to give you a rundown, essentially how this week is going to plan out, because you're now into the post week 1 stuff. So this is where it's a little bit different. Tonight I'm going live, first and foremost, for the Bills Jets. I will be going live for that. 2, I will also tonight be recording my film breakdown. I think after 24 hours, they put the all 22 out. So I'll be able to do it tonight. If not tonight, definitely tomorrow. Will be out Wednesday. But I think it's Monday night that I can do it. And then tomorrow you'll get the film breakdown. Wednesday you will get the picks. Friday you will get the preview for the Patriot game, which is Sunday night. Also with the preview now, I can give you rankings of where the Dolphins are statistically on offense and defense, being that they've already played a game. So a lot to give you. Also, last night I told you guys I was going to recap the games on the week, or no, the games on that Sunday, but I was just mentally drained. If you would like me to do it, if you're like, hey Doug, I was looking forward to it, can you please do that every Sunday? Just let me know in the comment section, and I will definitely do it for this upcoming Sunday, even though it's going to be hard because the Dolphins play the Sunday night game, and I normally do it like when the Sunday night game ends. That's why you kind of get a recap in the picks video. But if you still want me to, comment below, let me know, and I will try to, if not do it this Sunday, the Sunday after. And one last thing before we jump into the video, I do have to shout out today's sponsor, and that is Clean the World. You guys know I talk about them constantly. Clean the World. Sean Seipler, my man with the master plan, came out with these awesome kits. You're wondering, the biggest thing with these kits is the soap. He figured a lot of soap is wasted, especially in hotels. So he took the slivers of soap, cleaned them, repurposed them, and now puts them in these kits to get them out to people that need them in third world countries, natural disasters, the homeless, people of need. You get a toothbrush, shampoo, toothpaste, socks, all that good stuff. Go check them out, cleantheworld.org. Link will be in the description. And thank you so much for sponsoring this video. So we're going to jump into it and going to kind of talk about yesterday, go into some more deeper details and all that stuff. So Tua threw for 466 yards yesterday. There's only 3 other quarterbacks that have thrown for more on the opening day or the opening week of the season, and that is Van Brocken, Brady, and Dan Marino are the only 3 guys. So Tua is 4th in NFL history with passing yards on week 1 with 466. Tua also is 3-0 in week 1 when he starts. I did not know that. He has not lost a week 1 start. And I'm like trying to rack my brain. Like, yes, we beat the Patriots last year. And I'm trying to like remember the year before. But I think we beat the Patriots again. He 3-0. I'll take that all day, every day. Just absolutely love that. 0 sacks yesterday. 0. Kendall Lamb and Austin Jackson versus Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, and they gave up 0 sacks. Now, give them credit because you're going up against 2 very good pass rushers, but also coincides with Tua and his pocket presence, like that 3rd and 10 in the 4th quarter with like 3 minutes left in the game. That man slides up in the pocket and just hits Tyreek Hill in stride. Thing of beauty. Can't wait to break that down. But the fact that we gave up 0 sacks and we were so afraid, and I am one of them, that we did not have Terron Armstead on that left side, it just makes me feel a little bit better about kind of the season. And just imagine when Terron Armstead does come back, how much better that's going to be. So it makes me happy. It really makes me happy to see. And again, you can't sit back and go, oh, this Chargers team is decimated with injuries. They're not the same Chargers team, this, and that, because it's week 1. They had 2 guys on the injury report. We had like 12. Then you had Tyreek Hill. He had 215 receiving yards. That is the 3rd most in week 1 NFL history, behind Ryan Clark and Anquan Bolden. So we set a little bit of, not records, but we're up there in the rankings when it comes to that. When it comes to, as of right now, again, the Bills and the Jets haven't played yet, so this could change. But Tua right now is number 1 in the NFL in passing yards, again, 466. He's tied for first in the NFL with 3 touchdowns. He has a passer rating of 110, and he is first in the NFL in first downs with 23 passing first downs. Tyreek Hill, again, as of right now, first in the NFL with receiving yards with 215, tied for first in the NFL with 2 touchdowns. He is first in the NFL with catches of 20 plus more yards with 5, and he is first in the NFL with receiving first downs with 9. Javon Holland is 5th in the NFL with tackles with 14. Right behind him is Elliott with 6th in the NFL with 13 tackles. And that's pretty much the stats I got for you, because all the other stats are kind of, and that's where, I wanted to start on a high and talk about how well they did in certain aspects and how Tua was so on and he was making the throws. Yes, there are parts of the game where he needed to do a little bit better, but at the end of the game, you just look at the body of work and you're like, 110 passer rating, 466 yards, 3 touchdowns, yes, the 1 interception, but he was just on. He was torching the Chargers defense, and it was just great to see. The defense made the stop when they needed to. They got the sack when they needed to. Vic Fangio dialed the blitz when he needed to. He was smart. He didn't force blitzes like he said he wasn't going to do. But there's things that need to work on. So for the first 7 minutes of this video, I really wanted to, great job. But again, it's now Monday. We celebrated the victory. Now we need to move on to some things that need to be worked on. The Miami Dolphins ran the ball 15 times. The Miami Dolphins passed the ball 50 times. That cannot continue. For one, that's a lot of passing. And it's a lot of situations where you're kind of putting Tua in a situation. And you only ran the ball 15 times. At one point, Mostert was actually doing his thing like a chicken wing. And there was a point where I think we were on their 5 and they threw the ball 3 times. And then I think we ended up kicking a field goal. And even like when we, instead of having to like have heart palpitations with 1:30 left in the game, we threw the ball and ended up scoring really quick. And I understand why they didn't run the ball. Now, did the Chargers think, hey, we're going to shut down the run and make Tua beat us? Because if that was their thought process, they probably would have changed that going into halftime, because Tua was beating them and he was doing whatever he wanted to. So I don't know. Again, Mike McDaniel said he's made a promise that he's going to run the ball more, but then week 1, it is so lopsided, the pass to run play calling. But again, it's week 1. I'm not going to overreact. There's, no overreaction Monday, but I will say that is something that needs to be worked on. There needs to be an even keel, especially if it's working. Now, was it not working? At some points it wasn't. I'm not going to lie. We ended the game where he mostly had 3.7 yards a carry. But again, you had Eric Uzukama going in. You had end arounds going. You had cool things with him incorporated, and then he stopped that. I don't understand why he backpedals from things. I think maybe, and again, this is me just assuming, he's noticing what is working. Like Tyreek is burning them, and they're having a hard time stopping these routes and that. And he's like, look, our defense isn't doing anything, and I don't want to be put in a situation where we're going to go too far down. We need to continue to attack. And maybe that's why he didn't run as much. But again, there was aspects of this game where we were on their 5 and he didn't run the ball, or even at the end of the game where we scored, in my opinion, a little too quick. It scared me a little bit. Again, we won, so in hindsight, fantastic. But you should have ran the ball a little bit, eat more of the clock up, force them to call their last timeouts. Then when we gave them the ball back, they were struggling even more. And then again, Doug doesn't have heart palpitations. There's that. On the flip side, on the defense, there's no way you can sit back and like go, oh, I'm happy with the way the defense played. They gave up 34 points. If it wasn't for your offense being lights out on passing, we would have lost. Your defense gave up 34 points. Your defense gave up 208 rushing yards. Herbert didn't have to throw the ball. 33 passing attempts. Now it's still a good amount, but for like a whole drive, he didn't. I think he threw the ball like twice, and they were like incompletions, and they just marched down the field and scored a touchdown, just running the ball down our throats. That needs to be fixed. Now, I'm not going to sit here and blame Vic Fangio because there's only so much Vic Fangio can do. There was at some points where they were running. Kalen Moore was running hurry ups, and again, this is all stuff we'll break down in the film breakdown. But he was running hurry ups and kind of getting the Dolphins defense not ready and not situated. And again, there's only Vic Fangio can call down a play, and if they're not executing it or if it's taking them too long, he's not going to run out there and do it for them. That's where this week in practice comes in, where he's going to, what are you doing? And again, we travel to the West Coast. So that's the hardest part. Now, I'm not saying the hardest part of the schedule, but now traveling isn't going to be that crazy. We're going to New England, then we're home, and then we go to Buffalo, and then we're home. I'm being at that game. Home for for a couple weeks. So it's going to get a little bit better when it comes to the traveling, but you can't put it all on Vic Fangio. Now, obviously, discipline is a thing, but we actually did better with penalties as well, which I'm very happy with. Didn't commit that many penalties. Some of them were tic-tacky, like the ones called against Xavier Howard, but for the most part, I was happy with that. But the defense, he talked about it. I said this time and time again, how we need to find some starters in some spots, and he's not comfortable with the depth in some other spots. Like, if I'm the Dolphins, I'm calling Akeem Hicks. And I'm like, my man, how much is it going to cost to get you to come play for us this season? Or Ndamukong Suh, hey, man, did you see what we just did on offense? I know you played here. You want to come in and help us? Because they were running it down our throats. Austin Eckler, 117 yards, 7.3 yards per carry. Now, I know Christian Wilkins kind of sat in a little bit, and he wants to get paid, but that's not how you do it, my man. You're getting bullied. Now, do the Patriots have a better offensive line? We'll find out next week. Do the Broncos have a better offensive line? We'll find out next week. Same thing with the Bills. We'll start to see. Again, to me, after the Bills game is where we'll know what the Dolphins team is. Like right now, if you had to ask me, gun to my head, what is this Dolphins team? It's a very good passing team. They abandoned the run, and the defense is questionable. Like, I can't even say, like, it's just the rush defense, because that's the other thing. We got 3 sacks, but, like, we barely pressured Justin Herbert. When he dropped back, he was able to do whatever he wanted. Now, don't get me wrong. There was a few times I saw Bradley Chubb getting, like, choked while he was trying to go after him, but we weren't getting any pressure. So those are the things that they need to work on going into, the Patriots game, where it's a Sunday night game, and going into the rest of the season. Now, I expect Vic Fangio to fix it. I expect him to be able to scheme it up, to put the people in the right place, and to fix it. That's why he is Vic Fangio. If he doesn't, then there's a problem. Is there a personnel problem, or is it a Vic Fangio problem? I'm not ready to jump ship or say Vic Fangio sucks, because I'm not that type of person. I know how the NFL works. I know how long it takes for a new system to be installed. I know all this stuff. So I'm giving to week 4. But that being said, there's things that need to be fixed. You need to stick with the run a little bit more. Rush defense needs to show up, and we need to get more pressure on the quarterback. The secondary did their thing, right? Keenan Allen had 76 yards. Austin Eckler had 47. Big chunk was on a yak play where, he kind of blocked, then released. Mike Williams got 45. They didn't torch us in the air like last year. They used to. It was on the ground. It's things that need to be fixed that I'm hoping as the next couple weeks go on, they get fixed, because you're facing a good rush team in the Patriots next week, and then you're facing the Broncos, and you got some tests coming up. So we started off with the W. Tua lit it up. Tyreek did his thing. Even Waddle got a few reps in there, 4 catches, 78 yards, did his thing. They probably didn't want to, bring him back too quickly. Again, he did get banged up in training camp. Durham Smythe coming in, 3 catches, 44 yards. I'm liking the way the offense passing did. I still would have called different plays differently in here and there. But again, I'm not a coach. I'm in my studio in New Jersey. He obviously knows more than me. But there's things to build on, and then there's things to get better at. And that's what the Monday Deeper Dive is all for. Comment below. Let me know if I missed anything that bothered you. Sanders missing the extra point. It is what it is. He slipped. If you go back and watch it, he kind of slipped on the kick. But still, my man, you need to make those so I don't have any more heart attacks, because it's bad enough the defense is giving me heart palpitations. But comment below. Let me know if I missed anything that you noticed now taking a step back and watching the game again. And I will see you guys tomorrow in the film breakdown. It might be a long one. There's a lot I'm going to talk about. And it's mostly going to be about Tua and kind of talking about where he did fantastic. And I'm still going to talk about the things he messed up on, but he could still do better. But I'm very excited. I'll see you guys tomorrow. But like usual, stay classy. My fins up.